What's up, Sliders? Welcome to the Dmpod. This is your host, Darian. This is
Matthew.
And today we're doing probably the greatest movie of all time, Lyle Lyle Crocodile.
It was good.
Maybe joking a little.
I ain't joking at all. I'm dead serious.
So the reason we're watching Lyle Lyle Crocodile, obviously in theaters, but you want to give a little background of why we're watching this movie specifically, Matt?
Yeah, so
Camila Cabello.
Shawn Mendes, the best pop singer of our generation.
Totally.
He
not Harry Styles at all.
It's not Harry Styles. But we saw this movie. He was going to put out this movie. He was making the movie, in the making. We're like, man, we got to go see that because we're going to go see him in concert.
So we're like, let's watch the concert.
Let's watch the movie.
We'll watch the concert and we'll watch the movie. But
we're going to make it Shawn Mendes week.
Yeah, we're making Shawn Mendes week. But what happened was Shawn Mendes canceled his concert because he got depression. So
it was for mental health.
Mental health, yes, whatever you want to call it.
It's not
Either way,
depression, mental health, and
he was.
It's a wider.
He was
wider
depressed.
Variety.
Either way, so Shawn Mendes didn't do it. So we're like, we got to see Shawn Mendes sing at least somewhere in October. So I was like, hey Matt, you want to go see Lyle Lyle so we can record it for the pod? He was like, yeah, sure. And so, we already had this plan before, so we went to go see it. You want to do a brief overview of the movie? I had to say something. The CGI is way better than what we just did. The podcast we just recorded earlier today. Granted, this one had a $50 million budget, which is a lot more money than I thought it would have for what it is. But granted, yeah, like the alligator, like it looks like. How do I?
It's not a real alligator.
Yeah, obviously it's not supposed to look a real alligator, but it looks like a cool cartoon alligator in real life.
The modern look.
And then the other animals, you could tell they put less work in them, or like the cat and the dog, because we're used to seeing real cats.
What dog?
There's a dog where he barks at the dog.
Huh.
But
that's really writing.
The real animal, or like we're used to seeing real cats, so that was kind of weird. But the real dog, the alligator, they even showed real alligators kind of compared to. But either way, the CGI was really good for the movie. Honestly, is there Shawn? I would say he sings his heart out. Man. Yeah, he sings his heart out because he don't actually talk in the movie. The director, when I was reading an interview, actually this time I didn't watch an interview. I did a little bit more work this time, Matt. When I was reading the interview, he said that we wanted someone of Shawn's talent to show emotion, and I was thinking, if you really wanted him to show emotion, you would actually have him talk. But they're like, let's show emotion in music. Because it's probably a good thing too, because we just watched a movie the other day where we had a famous singer try to show emotion in their role. Maybe they should just had him sing the whole time too. Maybe it would have came out a little more happier. Obviously, I'm joking. Carrie did all right. The directors, they did Blades of Glory, which is the movie that I saw that really piqued my interest. It's kind of weird. I never seen Blades of Glory. You ever seen it? It's with Will Ferrell and somebody else. It's like made in 2007. I just know I had it at home. I never watched it. I don't know. It never caught my eye. But it was kind of interesting to see that. And then they do this movie. And they said that the studio, because they wanted to do Lyle Lyle for a long time, but they end up getting Sony was like, we want to do these movies. So I guess they thought it was going to be like a hit with the kids or whatever. So they ended up getting the money to back it up. So they really didn't have any troubles producing this movie. And also, Lyle Lyle is based off of the book Lyle Lyle Crocodile, but it was a sequel to a book that was The House on the 88th Street, and that's what they show the 88th building, and that's or apartment 88 or 88th Street, one of the two. But it shows and I guess in that book it shows Lyle Lyle Crocodile, and I guess he was a hit with the kids when they saw that. So they end up making Lyle Lyle Crocodile its own thing, and then they had plenty of books. Like you see, anytime you go to a bookstore or just Walmart or Target, anytime you go near the book section, you see Lyle Lyle Crocodile somewhere. But I don't know if he actually. I think in the interview they said he doesn't actually talk in the books. So I don't know if he even sings in the books because I didn't really do that much research. But maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I know for sure he doesn't talk. So I guess they're like, let's just have Shawn sing here. And when I saw the trailer, Matt, I was like, we gotta see this. It is right up my alleyway. I like musicals, and I was like, it's Shawn Mendes in a musical. Like you get the best of both worlds. Either way, I wouldn't say if you have a kid, definitely go watch it. So you can say you just want to watch it with your kid.
Now go watch it by yourself. I'd go watch it again tonight.
Go ahead, Matt.
I'll hit the 10 o'clock showing.
You hit the 10 o'clock. I don't think they have 10 o'clock showings for Lyle Lyle just because, kids ain't up that late.
I saw one.
You saw one? Oh, okay.
It's not just a kid. It's a family movie, dude.
It is a family movie. There's not really, they don't really like, what's the word?
Like there's movies nowadays that are like, man, that's just for kids. And there's
movies
other
themes
like,
that
adults
you
can be in
you can.
This one has the adult.
Well, you can tell this one was like, it's a kids movies, but there's adult themes you can grab from it. Like you can tell, like, because that's how movies are made. You can tell either you're just going straight for the kids, like Paw Patrol, but also you're going
Mickey
for
Mouse Clubhouse,
stuff like that. But you're also going for like like what Pixar does, basically.
Yeah.
We're not saying this is like a Pixar movie, but it has deeper meaning.
Sony hit this one out the park.
It was, I wouldn't say out the park, but it was really good. I saw it compared to Paddington, which is considered one of the greatest movies of all time. So I feel like there's an unfair comparison to say Matt, it's legit was the only Paddington 2 actually. It was the only movie at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. They had 199 100% reviews, and then one person put like 84 and then dropped it down to 99. What a rude dude, because I don't want this critic. I don't want this dude to be I don't want this one to be a
rated R.
Rated R. No, I'm pretty sure I can't cuss yet. I gotta wait for like 50 minutes in, so they don't catch us. But yeah. Either way, go ahead and watch it. Especially like when it comes out on Blu-ray. Just go, or not Blu-ray. Or what is it? Redbox. Definitely go rent it. It's worth, especially if you're at home and you get the shot. Just watch it. It's pretty good. Definitely.
I'm definitely buying it.
Definitely worth that.
I'm definitely watching it again.
Okay, Matt. We heard the first
and
300
I'm definitely getting the poster to put on this wall.
Oh, get Lyle Lyle Crocodile. Is the missing poster right here?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
There was a spot that was open, and I think it's been filled.
These movies, we'll get to them eventually. And then Lyle Lyle will do a re-review.
Every year.
Every year, Lyle Lyle Crocodile.
March. Behave. Freaking.
October
8th.
Every year. So yeah, go ahead. That's our small review of it. It's good. It's fun. The music is fun. Shawn Mendes doesn't have to actually act in the movie, so you don't have to worry about him being cringy. I mean, yeah, there's one cringy scene, which I think is like the dancing scene. I think that's kind of cringy.
No.
I think it is. You can't. There's flaws in this movie.
It shows the emotional.
I'm talking. What scene I'm talking about? I'll tell you later. Because you're probably thinking it was a TikTok one, where she's doing a little TikTok and it looks. And then he does it, and it's like, okay.
It's fine too.
I don't like that scene.
I like it.
I get it's a kid, but for me it was very cringy.
There's a deep meaning to
that. Matt's like, oh yeah, this movie's perfect.
It is. And the stuff came back. Stuff they brought up came back.
Yeah, that's called a movie, Matt.
And but you don't see them in detail. It's like, I'll explain them as they go on.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. You want to go ahead and start it, Mr. Lyle Lyle?
Magic Man, right?
Yeah, the first thing we see is Hector. I forget his last name. It's like Bellini, something like that.
I'm gonna call him Magic Man because that's the first. I wrote that down before I knew even he just looks like magic.
It'll be the first time we reviewed a Magic Man movie.
What was the other one?
Black Phone.
Oh,
yeah. We see Hector Bellini, right? He's at the musician thing.
Cool transition shots.
The movie they took advantage of New York. Like they're shooting in New York. I don't know. Some of it was probably not CGI. Well, obviously, most of the movie CGI because it's a freaking alligator. But it's green screen. There's probably a lot of green screen. But you really could like the movie we did before. You can, or some movies that we have done. You can see like green screen is pretty obvious. But here you really can't tell when they're green screening and when they're not. Probably at the rooftop doing a lot of green screening.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but that's looks like it's off a play set. Not really. It's not meant to be like, oh look, here's New York, you know. But like the New York shots are pretty good. It's Hector, and he comes in with music. Like we hear upbeat music, right? And then we go to level L, and he's going to the show. He's doing he's doing whatever it's called. It's kind of like their American Idol, The Voice thing.
Yeah.
It's called So You Think You Can Make It. Something like that. It's like a little term, and he says it later on. But basically, it's like their way to...
Show us what you got.
Yeah, show us what you got. That's what it's called, yeah. It's to... You're laughing at me. It's their American talent. So you go, and he's trying to do his little magician act, and it's not working. It's not like...
Yeah, it wasn't working at all.
Yeah, they were like...
They were right. The dude was right when he's like... cut the birds, get rid of the birds.
Yeah,
There was way too many.
Yeah, he had a CGI pigeon, and it just didn't end the way we wanted it, and so he's sad, and he's desperate because he's trying to get his show back, or I guess he was famous at one point because it does. I mean, he has, or at least has a family legacy, which is established.
Yeah.
So he's in New York, sad, and the music starts ending, and then he goes to this little. It says Eddie's Exotic Animals.
Yes, sir. And it was
And
cool.
then we
that was
see
like, that was one of the cool shit. They took advantage of that shot too.
I mean, every shot they were in New York, they
This
took
one they
advantage
took
of
real
it.
good advantage
They knew what they were doing when they're.
I doubt that's a real store, so they probably had that sign put up.
Yeah, they probably just put a sign over
Yeah.
it. The outside shot is probably
Real.
real, but the inside is probably just filmed in the studio somewhere. But it made it seem like that. He goes in, and then it's like this midget. That's the best way to put it. He's a midget. The dude that he's talking to is a midget, and he's like, "You got anything for the show or something?"
And he goes, "You got anything that's what that dude told him when he kicked him out?" He goes, "You need something that's different." So he goes, "You have anything that's different? Something that'll spark people's attention?"
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, and he's like, "Yeah, I got a freaking
He's
lemur in the back."
And he says, "I got a spider,
snake
a spider.
and-
It's like a spider that eats something, whatever."
It was all lame.
On
crap.
sale. He says that's on sale, and then you hear singing in the background,
Mhm.
and you just hear little
A
notes of
beautiful voice.
on top of the world. It's like part of that, and then Hector is going to the back, and Hector keeps hearing it, and then he sees, and it's like a cute little crocodile, super small, and it's you just hear humming of Shawn Mendes' voice, so you can tell Shawn Mendes probably pitched his voice more up to, to echo that he's small at this point. And then he's like, I take him, right? I take him. What is this? He's Italian. He takes him, and I put all my notes because the crocodile is a little cute. They knew what they were doing. They put the big eyes. They remind me of Baby Yoda, a little green thing. So Hector takes him, and they take him to his apartment. And this apartment is freaking huge. Like, that apartment has to be like probably like multi-millions, because it's for New York. I see like this dude on TikTok all the fucking time. It's like
There it is.
oh, my bad.
There it is.
That one just came out.
Rated R. There we go.
That one just came out. My bad, Peters.
This ain't made for kids.
It is made for kids. They'll pretend they didn't hear that. But they talk. He talks about New York apartments, and he goes and he's like, "Oh, how much your apartment is?" And then he goes and explores New York apartments. They're always like 1,000, and it's for like super small places, like not even like the bathroom size, Matt. I'm pointing at the bathroom just so you know. Like the bathroom size, like that small, and they're like, "Oh yeah." Anyways, so it's weird to see like this big place that they have in New York. So obviously he has a family legacy wise.
Yeah.
So he probably can go be a magician and not have to worry about bills unless he puts them on himself, you know?
Yeah.
And then they start singing in the New York apartment, and they sing.
He was trying to get him to sing.
He tries to get him to sing.
What was he saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. He was making like a
La, la, la.
Yeah, there you go. La la la. And he did it for probably 30 seconds. And then he was like kind of sad because Mr. Crocodile didn't want to do it back. And finally you hear la la la. Shawn Mendes is great voice, friendly voice. And then they go and they did this dance.
Yeah, they did this whole dance routine. It was like ripped straight off Broadway. And it's On Top of the World. Take a Look at Us Now. That's the song.
It's an amazing song.
Yeah, because they sing different parts of the song. I have here, Take a Look at Us Now. And so Hector is inspired. So Hector, he's like...
He bet the house.
He legit, he gave him... He was like, he had his keys, and he had something else. And he was like, okay, I'm selling like... He was like, I can't give him money to pay back this dude because he legit, before he reaches the thing, he's like, okay, I'll be back or whatever. Yeah. And he grabs it's like the keys. There's two things he has in his hands, and he goes and he's like, okay, I'm legit selling my house.
One was a picture of the house, and the other was the key.
Yeah, because he was like, he had no money, so he was like, I'm going to sell my house to try to, because I think this thing will work. And he has the right idea because, I mean, a singing crocodile, that's going to sell all over the Carney show.
That's different. Yeah.
Freaking, what is it? Colonel Tom Parker would love that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what that reminded me of, actually.
Yeah.
Like, he saw a chance to make money, big opportunity, and he took the risk.
He took the risk, yeah.
One just didn't work out.
Yeah, he got a bigger mortgage for the show, And then we go to the show, and when we're at the show, they have like this nice blue suit on, and then Hector goes and he's singing, and Hector's really good. Don't get me wrong, but not everyone can sing. That's not what I mean. But like, there's a lot of good singers. You can click on, you can go channel surfing, and you'll find The Voice, American Idol, all these shows that people do sing. So it's kind of like, you can sing, but you got to be more. So that crocodile needs to be more, you know. And it's weird because they're not freaked out at the crocodiles first. Probably because we have a montage before they go to the actual show, and it's and they're singing around the whole like place, and he ends up getting bigger because it's baby crocodile, and then he grows to like 13-year-old crocodile, right? Roughly.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, so he's taller now. I think they did that because it's probably harder to
keep him small.
Yeah, or at least it'll be harder to do it on like bigger screen, which makes sense. And obviously, you had to get bigger so like the dance routines and all that. Yeah. Because then you probably have to look down more. It's a lot more. I bet you behind the scenes, the reason they upped them.
They probably needed because they had like a green person in the green suit, so they probably needed a taller one to, like you said, keep it up with the. It'll probably be easier for them to have like. I wonder if they did get a green screen person and just had him dance the routines, and then that's probably you're probably right. That's probably what they did, and they probably just put like a crocodile. You ever seen like the behind the scenes Marvel things where they have like when Thor's talking to Thanos, they just have like a stick with a face on it, and then they look at the face, so that's what they're looking at. That's probably what they had for where Lyle Lyle's head was. They probably had like a small person do it. Yeah. Or no, granted, he was probably like 4. Yeah, they probably played a stunt double to. Okay, you go out here and make all these dance moves. Yeah, they were good dance moves.
Yeah, so Lyle Lyle's just sitting there. He's like, just sitting. He gets stage fright, like another movie we just watched.
He froze.
He froze. He could not do anything.
His fear took him over.
Yeah, his fear really took him over, and then he goes, and they just have a packed house. Like he's been promoting the show. Like for a good, it seems like maybe weeks has passed, and that's why the montage happened. Yeah. But he starts promoting the show, and the tickets are sold out, so it's not like they can't refund the tickets. So at the end of the day, I mean, granted, Lyle Lyle was a bomb. He still made money for that show at least, but that's not the point. You got to be able to sell more shows. This is like your test show because he did just give up his house and everything else, and then what is it? They close the curtains, right, and then. The booker's like, get out of here. Like, what are you doing? And then they head home, and then he's all sad and distraught, Hector. And Hector gives him the scarf.
He was acting like a good guy. Because if I would have bought a crocodile and that crocodile wouldn't have sung out there.
Then just gave up my house and my keys. I was like, Hector, come on, bro.
I'd have been a bad person, but he kept his composure. He kept his calm.
That's like betting 5 units on a test bet instead of betting only 1.
Yeah. So you gotta risk big to win big.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Hector's mindset was here, which is probably telling of who he is. And
you can't be upset when it didn't work out.
Yeah, and it doesn't because you made that risk.
He knew what he invested in.
Mm-hmm. You're the one that Pushed the.
He didn't blame Lyle.
He pushed himself. Yeah, he blamed on himself. He gave him the scarf, and then. He was like, I'll be back in a few months. I got to get money. I don't know what the hell he's going to get money for. I guess like working. Probably cleaning pools, honestly. Because apparently he get pretty good amount of money doing that. So he ends up leaving and saying, you just stay here. And then we have like little sad music and I was going to say little Tom for some reason. Little Lyle's all sad. And then it cuts to 18 months later. And then we got people moving in, and I think they're the Brims. The Brims, yeah. We don't really get the dad's first name or the mom's first name.
I didn't get either.
I got Josh for sure.
Yeah, everybody got.
Yeah, I think they even say Professor Brim. He don't really have a name.
Yeah, they didn't.
So they're moving in, and then we meet the retailer. She's saying, just be aware of I don't know. She's saying,
the grump.
Yeah, the grump, and then we see
and the grumpy cat.
Yeah. So we meet the mom, and then we go inside, and she talks about how she makes cookbooks, and I guess that's how they afford the house, because you're not affording that house he's a professor, but no, he's not, because he's teaching kids. Yeah. But he at least professor under his title, but he's definitely, maybe he's a private school, and that's why he makes good money, because she makes good money, because she did all these cookbooks. Yeah. And we see the freaking, what is the word? The apartment, and it says 88, and I was like, that's important. So I looked up why it was important. That's why I looked that up in my thingy. I legit circled it on here, like that means something. Then we see a fake something. I don't know what I wrote. Then we see fake cat, because this is the first time we see Loretta, who kind of looks like a guy low key, but she's definitely like a. I remember these YouTubers I watched. They had a Persian cat named Cloud, and I think he says the breed on the thing, but I didn't write that down in my notes. The Loretta's owner. I'm not gonna. I think I do have his name somewhere written down, but we're not gonna. I'm just calling him Loretta's owner for the podcast because he don't deserve a name, right? Because he's a real mean dude.
There's a good reason.
I mean, granted, he is. I get why he's mad. It reminds me of the people downstairs. I can see why he's mad, but I don't have his name down. I just have a legit. I could have wrote his name multiple times, but I put Loretta's owner.
That's put grump, man.
The only problem with Loretta, I think, but I guess there's a reason why Loretta's CGI. I wish they would just done a real cat, but they did Loretta's face so she can show more emotion.
She's like her owner.
Yeah,
Grump.
she's a little grump, or at least she seems like a grump. So we head inside and we see Lyle's tail slithering around on top on the stair. Yeah, the staircase is huge. It's like probably a for
Oh, for sure. Because they have an attic. He has his own floor. They have their own floor. Then the kitchen and stuff. So yeah, there's 4 floors.
Yeah, and then we see the dad hanging up a wrestling poster.
Yeah. He goes, "Does this look good right here?"
Yeah, and then I said someone is scared talking. I forget who is. That's what I have in my notes. Someone here is scared talking to Siri. Oh yeah. So what we have here is Josh. Josh is scared because he's in the bedroom because he keeps hearing noises because he's this paranoid kid because when they're talking, the mom I guess like recently has been feeding him like healthy food. Like he don't eat like bad stuff, which is good to raise your kid that way. Honestly, I think there's a way like when I have my kids, whenever that is. Like they won't be having sodas, like unless the first time they're gonna introduce sodas is when they're at someone else's place, because I think there's a good way to do that, but there's also a balance. You can't just feed them everything out of your cookbook. Because I think even the dad says right, he's like they come and like after breakfast they say it's all healthy. like I want to eat something like a little bit more fatty every once in a while, which is definitely some truth. But Josh is upstairs and he's a very paranoid kid. He's scared, and then. We hear creepy music because we're hearing all the noise upstairs because he's like, what's that outside? They say it's the ambulance, something else because they're right
screeching.
Yeah. And then we hear and she's like, I don't know what that is, like that noise. And then we go up the stairs and there's a crystal ball because that was for like the dance routine.
Magic, yeah.
And then we see Lyle Lyle, right? We see Lyle Lyle, and it has the note by Hector. Yeah. Says, "Take good care of Lyle Lyle," something of that note, right?
Yes. Take care of Lyle Lyle for me.
Mm-hmm. And Lyle Lyle's just sitting there in like a glass case, kind of like a statue, and so he points the flashlight at him. And
that reminded me of that scene in Toy Story where Woody's in the box and he's acting. And Buzz too. They both had scenes like that where they had to act like they were not alive inside the box. And people looked at the box like, okay, that's not real.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Actually, no, it wasn't. I just felt like taking that. And then he goes to bed. Then we got breakfast, right? And Dad's leaving to work. As a professor. And then the kid Josh is heading to the school, right?
This is when you notice they don't like the food, right? Because he tries leaving without eating the food. And then Josh tries to leave without eating the food.
That'll be the first time we saw a kid leave before breakfast and throw the food away. Told you a lot of similarities. Josh is paranoid, and because obviously he just moved to the city. Josh, he's played really well too. The kid actor. We've been killing it with these kid actor roles because Josh is. Obviously different to what Black Phone is, and Black Phone is the one I'm relating it to at the moment. Yeah. But Josh, he's very even in this. The only time I really cringe was like I said that dancing scene, the TikTok dancing scene. I legit just did the freaking what is it that whatever that's called. You didn't even see me do it multiple times. But I'm good at that. The woo, that's what it is. Josh paranoid. You hear all these loud noises, and they give the sound. This is the first time I really mentioned sound design, but the sound design's really well because it shows like how compact you can be in such a big environment. Yeah. And his mom has Life 360, and she's like there trying to get into the school because they got to walk the way, because in New York you gotta walk most of the time. Like when I was in New York, they said that some people don't even drive any other life. All they do is walk or take trains. And some people haven't even been outside New York or like been to Brooklyn. They just stay in New York all day, which is crazy to even think about.
It's a lot in New York though.
Yeah, but then there's not. But Matt, think about that. That's like as big as the place we're living in now.
Yeah, there's a lot in New York. At least they have their own.
Yeah, they have
baseball
everything.
team, basketball team, football team too.
Yeah, but also it's just SB New York, New York. I'm talking about New York, not Brooklyn. Like just the city,
Okay.
just the city
New
area.
York City.
Yeah, like
That's different.
they barely even leave. They don't even go across the bridge.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like New York and the state. I was thinking, hell, they have a lot in New York.
Yeah, yeah, they do. So he gets to school and he walks down the cool hallway. Unfortunately, because freaking they're doing a little TikTok, or it's called what is it called in here?
Oh, I have no clue. I didn't pay attention to that.
You didn't write it? I think it wasn't Reels, because that's what Instagram is.
Yeah.
It's called something. I forget what it's called, but it looks like Instagram font.
Yeah.
It's portraying Instagram, but it's obviously TikTok's the
yeah.
big thing. But either way, they're doing a dance, and he walks in. She's like, why y'all walking in? And they're rude at first, because these are like the cool kids, and they're later on we'll see they're really talented apparently. And then we go, yeah, I put buried by a TikTok or bullied by a TikTok. Then
it shows him eating lunch on the floor, along the wall.
And then he goes to wrestling, because they were talking about wrestling earlier. Like, sign him up for wrestling because his dad's big. I guess it was he won state as a collegiate wrestler, not collegiate, high school wrestler. Yeah. We're not giving him that much credit. But I mean, he's done something that I don't think any wrestler can say they did, besides that guy that wrestled crocodiles. So he loses. So he's really in a bad mood. And then he tries to make new friends. Doesn't work out. And then he grabs the cat, because the cat's like around the area. And I'm like, bro, don't grab the cat. Or Loretta. He grabs Loretta, and you're thinking, oh, he's gonna get in trouble by Loretta's owner. Yeah. And then hear singing, right?
You're a loud thump.
Yeah.
A freaking loud bang, like a boom. So they're like, okay. He's like, what was that? And they kind of dismissed it a little bit. Mm-hmm. And
so
then you hear the singing.
Yeah, you hear he's grabbing Loretta, and you hear singing. And then it's like, it feels like you can tell they want to. I think I even saw somewhere when I was looking at their movie history, they wanted to do, because I even in an interview, I think they say horror, because there is some horror elements in the movie whenever Lyle Lyle is a crocodile, if that makes sense. Like when he's playing a crocodile, not Lyle Lyle. That, you get what I'm saying there, right? No, because you don't. Oh my God, you're terrible sometimes. So Lyle Lyle, right? The first shot we see is Lyle Lyle. He's like creeping around, and he like stooks up behind him, and then Josh sees him, and he's like freaked out, and he's like it's like the music goes lower to where it's like, if you're gonna, you could easily just throw this in some budget, what is it, B-rated horror movie where it's crocodile attacks or something like that, and then Lyle Lyle could just eat him type. That's what I'm saying. So they do a good job of showing horror elements in the movie. Now you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, bro, I'm serious, Matt. Like, legit, they show. Please tell me I'm getting to you. There's legit multiple horror shots. No, you don't. You're just saying that. You're just. Oh my gosh! Please write in the comments if you think that. Anyways, the cat jumps at Lyle because Lyle's like creeping up. Even though there's clearly horror shots in this movie, apparently Matt just wasn't paying attention. And
I was writing.
Yeah, but you also in the dark. So
in the dark,
yeah. Lyle. Well, you clearly didn't write horror elements shown in this movie.
I didn't. Eats cat.
and then once he eats them, he gets scared at Josh because he just scared Josh, even though apparently there's no horror elements. And then freaking he runs away, and Josh starts chasing him for some reason. Like
he hit the cat.
Yeah.
He's the cat back.
Yeah, you're right. But also, again, if a freaking crocodile if it's running away, I'd rather just not chase it at all.
Nah, I need to get that cat. You saw Mr. Grunt.
You say everything's perfect about this movie except for the horror elements, apparently. And then he's not scared of Lyle. He chases through the traffic, and he's not scared at all either. You know, Stamina? He's not scared at all because he was just scared earlier, like 5 minutes before, and now he's just running through traffic, not caring, just trying to chase him. I guess you're right about that cat. Not right about the horror elements though. And then
Can't let it go, man. You just gotta keep.
Yeah, because you basically.
I told you I agreed.
No, but you just basically you're basically dismissing.
No, I got it, Darian. He stood behind him like he was creeping up on him, and he tried to basically like he wanted to scare him or eat him. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because the music conveys that. The music is supposed to like show you that.
I got it.
I don't think you got it though.
I'll say the next one later was when the mom.
There's multiple.
And the dad when he went to wrestle him.
Yeah, well that's the whole point. That's what they showed. Well, not the dad. He wasn't scared.
Yes, when he was trying to wrestle him, when he stood up behind him like this. And
yeah. When he hit him with his tail.
I get what you're saying.
Okay. Anyway, so we get to like a certain area.
I spoiled the movie to make my point.
A cook. Oh, I said there's horror elements throughout the movie, not just in this one scene. But the cook, we see a cook. The cook's like, "What was that?" And everyone dismisses him. And then we get to this like a little area, and this dude's trying to steal from Josh for some reason. Yeah, it's a hobo. I guess he's trying to steal something from him.
His phone. He's trying to steal.
Oh yeah, he steals his phone. Yeah, you're right. And when he goes up to him, Lyle, like his eyes get more tense, and he's like, "I need to go help him." Again, he don't talk about the whole movie, and he does not sing in this when he's about to chase this dude. Lyle Lyle gets up. And it reminds me of the Batman. You said you've seen the Batman, right?
Yes, the opening scene at the very beginning.
Yes, that's exactly what it reminded me of. Because it's that same shot. Because you got the headlights in the background. Yes, it also reminds me of when the penguin flips over.
In Batman, it was the train.
Yeah, there's so it shows. Maybe I'll get a clip from the Batman and throw it in here. Lyle Lyle just stands there like that. Legit, I was thinking, they just pulled that straight from the Batman. Yeah, dude. Or at least they had that inspired by it.
Actually, had that written right there.
Yeah, I have Batman shot here. Yeah, and then he goes like a loud roar. And I like Lyle's roar because it's like...
It was a manly roar, but it wasn't like a... It wasn't kill you roar. It was just a...
I just like this roar because it didn't seem like... Yeah, I thought he was going to do like a Simba roar. Yeah. Like from Lion King where he's like... Meow, or not meow. Yeah, something not menacing. And then he once he leaves, he spits out the cat. And then we get a nice shot. We get a nice shot of New York. Then we eat. Then I have cherries looking at labels. Cherry something. The mom's looking at labels. I don't know why I put cherries, but she's looking at labels. Oh yeah, because she's looking at the cherries. Yeah. She's looking at the cherries because it was like from a recipe she made, and there's a recipe she made, and she's talking. She says there's too many chemicals or something like that. Basically, she's on fun.
Because it's not healthy for you. Yeah, that's basically what.
Yeah, so she tells Dad to throw it in the trash, and then he goes and he grabs it right and he puts it behind like the cookie jar, and she's like in the trash, so then she throws it in there
outside.
Yeah, she says throws it outside, but he ends up throwing it in the actual trash can. Yes. Apparently.
And then he takes it outside. Mm-hmm.
And then when we see
he gets Mr. Grump, he goes, "This in your trash can."
Yeah.
Your trash cans are in the back.
And we got Lyle Lyle. He's sleeping, and Josh gets called, and he's like, I guess like they're hanging out right now, or at least they came back, and he was. Yeah. And then we have
Josh is staring at him, waiting for him to wake up.
Yeah, because I guess we did see Lyle Lyle and them hang out together at least a little. They didn't do the dance number yet, but they're hanging out a little.
And I don't think so. I think he was, because right after he scared him, he ran away. So
he ran. Oh, then he woke. I think he was like watching him sleep.
Yeah, and he was waiting for him to wake up.
Just like be okay. Like. Yeah. And then so Josh gets out, and then Josh takes a shortcut. He takes a shortcut. This shortcut. It wasn't on the map, but he like jumps, or he does a little parkour. He jumps on like the top of the building.
He's way confident.
Yeah, he starts moving, like he's building his confidence because he's a friend. Yeah, he's a friend, and also his friend's a crocodile.
So what it's like when you go to school, right? Your first day somewhere new, like first day of work even. Mm-hmm. And you go, and then you go and you're nervous going in there, like, man, it's new. You don't know anybody. You don't recognize anything. It's just totally new to you. And then you go and you meet somebody. So you're like, okay, yeah, you're getting confidence. And you start talking, and then boom. For his case, he didn't really necessarily talk to him, but he knew, okay, that guy stuck up for me. So he had a confidence factor. Uh-huh. Somebody's there to help me out.
And then after he takes shortcuts, he gets to school, and then Lyle Lyle's downstairs. He grabs the massager. That's what I have. He grabs the massager and he starts massaging himself like on his body. I think the dance number did happen here, Matt, because the next thing. No, it hasn't. It has not yet. Okay, well then we'll keep going then. So he grabs the massager, and the mom's working out, and Lyle Lyle is snooping for some reason.
Yeah, stalking her through the.
Yeah, stalking
air
through the
vent.
vents, and the mom is watching a video of it's a wedding video.
It's a younger video. The first video was a younger video of Josh in the swing, and then it's him a little older at the wedding, and they're eating the little berries.
Yeah, and the berries were the ones that she made from her cookbook.
And the ones that she made.
And,
no, those are the ones he threw
that's,
away.
those are. That's why she had it in her cookbook as well.
Okay.
That's why. That's why he was like, "Why'd you?"
I thought everything in the cookbook was healthy.
No, she made anything for the cookbook. That's why he was talking. That's why he said, "Why you throwing those out? Then you use that for your cookbook." For like her wedding.
Yeah, that would have been.
That's why I put the cherries there.
I thought the stuff in the cookbook was healthy. That's why the cookbook was selling.
No, it's whatever she puts whatever out. So that's why I think she just makes books in general. It's just cookbooks, what's her trend right now. So that's why the cherries are so important to her in a way. But she saw the video and it was cute. I really liked it, and it shows about that. And then we got Josh. He's talking about because he talks to that little girl, Trisha. I don't want to get her name wrong.
I don't know her name.
I know something with a T, but she's only in a few scenes anyways. Yeah. But a little girl.
A girl that got mad because he disrupted the day.
Yeah, he talks to her, and she's like, "So what got you in like a better?" Because he seems in a better mood. She's like, "I have a pet crocodile." Oh yeah, because he's reading books on it.
Like there's like 10 books that are about crocodiles on the table.
And he's talking about the pet crocodile, and then she's like, "What?" And then he ends up.
I saw your TikTok. I say TikTok. I saw your video. Mm-hmm. And he tries to reenact it. And she goes, "You're weird, aren't you?"
He's like, "Yeah, a little." And then we get I don't know what I got here.
The Croc and Josh. Mm-hmm. So he goes back and he sees a crocodile. Mm-hmm. And he goes, and the crocodile starts running again, I think.
Yeah.
So then he takes the cat, and then he starts running with the cat too.
Yeah, he says like, "Get your power back." Yes, because we're in the bedroom at first, and then we see him playing with Lyle. Like Lyle comes in with, and then they start like you said, they start heading out, and Loretta just happens to be there with them. Loretta's chill. So they go, and like that's when they do like the music number. First they're in the dumpster. They're in the dumpster, yeah, because he don't say anything. You're right, because he don't say, my bad, Matt, because he don't say anything at all yet. We haven't heard him do anything besides a little humming at the beginning. Yeah. So we go to the dumpster diving. So they're dumpster diving. I'm like, okay, they're at a fancy restaurant. They dumpster dive, and I like the shot because obviously it's just dumpster diving, but how they have it is kind of like an opening hole, so they're under like a hole, I guess. That's easier for them to grab. Either way, it's a cool shot because it shows like they're in this little cave and they see like magical stuff falling in. Is that the best way to put it, right?
Yeah, pretty good way. So, yeah, I think that's like a wishing well. Basically.
Yeah, that's exactly wishing well. That'd be a good way to put it too. So after that, they gather up all their food and they head up to the sing area. That's what it's called.
The sing.
Then they're at the building and he's talking. Josh, do you remember what he says here?
Yeah, first he goes. He doesn't have friends, and then his mom died, so that's his stepmom.
His mom passed away at 2. Yeah. So and his stepmom has really stepped up. Yeah, like
he's like, giving her a good.
And he said that she had, and I really like the scene too because it really like
it showed emotion on Lyle. You see the emotion. He's like, oh man.
And also it shows like Josh, like knows like he's optimistic and shows like the sad things also. Yeah. But he's like, yeah, I have my mom. My dad says, cause tell you something that's like near and dear to your heart. He says, my dad said I have my mom's nose, and then after
like, try some of this food.
Mm-hmm. He tries some of the food, and he's like,
shoves the biscuit in his mouth.
Yeah, he's like, and he likes it because I guess he never tried like bad food before. At least that's what it's interpreted. Yeah, he's being able to interpret. And then is this where he starts singing? Yeah,
because he gets up after I think it was probably the food first and then the mom thing. So after he says that mom thing, Lyle gets up and he goes and he looks over the view.
Yeah, it's a shadow, and he says the shadow of the city, you and I. Yeah. That's kind of the song. It's more of I think it's Top of the World. I think he sings like 4 songs here, I think, in the whole movie. I know he says Top of the World a lot, but there's other songs that are like originals and played before. I think Shadow of the City, Something to the Sky is what I have, and
I like this song choice for this scenario.
Yeah, it's Top of the World. It's Top of the World again because he's showing that
you can be up there. You can be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be.
And he's showing Josh and
at least for the day, at least for the night, you can go
and
up
then-
there and be yourself.
And the cat got some food too, and Loretta's looking all happy. Yeah, I liked it because it looked like it was a Broadway set, and again on top of the roof, it looks like it was like you can put that, like you can put the show on if you can somehow get an accurate crocodile because I saw King Kong in Broadway, and King Kong, like the way they do it, like he looks really good, like really like the suit they use, and it's with a bunch of people, but they're like blend in really well. So if they somehow can get like a realistic crocodile suit that somehow someone can move in, I'm pretty sure the show could easily be on Broadway if they wanted it to, because they'll have Josh actually know how to sing, because I really think they can do
I think
it.
the point was for him not to be able to sing.
But it's weird. We'll talk about it later on.
I'll talk about it later.
Yeah, but I think I think if they did do a Broadway, everybody has to sing in Broadway. So I think he would be singing in the movie.
Yeah.
Or not in the movie, in the Broadway show, that they could somehow get out of this. Because if Lyle Lyle Crocodile was in Broadway, I would probably go watch it if it wasn't that expensive. Because King Kong, I don't remember how much it was, but I'm pretty sure Lyle Lyle would probably be like $100 max for a good seat. So that's. I could see it. I could be like, if I read an article one day and it says like in like 2 years from now we're making a Lyle Lyle Crocodile Broadway show, I'd be like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I expected that. So we're at the Broadway set, and we go to Loretta's house, and she's pooping. Yeah, she's pooping.
Yeah. Mr. Grump's on the phone. He's complaining about freaking sidewalk something. People are on the sidewalk. They're hiding they're taking all the room.
Yeah, he's pooping in.
This scene wasn't needed really.
Yeah, but basically it's saying like he's like
the kids left.
It's also but it's also the show that because he does like a weird poop, and he's also like why is he making like such a nasty poop? Like I feed him like whatever, like good food.
Yeah.
Like probably like $90 food. So.
And he puked up that shrimp.
Yeah. So he was like, what in the world? And then he's sleeping upstairs with Lyle, and then
On the couch.
Yeah, on the couch, and like
that was a cool scene. Or a cool shot.
Mm-hmm.
That had to have been a human actor on that crocodile, because the way the arms were wrapped around, yeah, dude, that had to have been a real actor.
Yeah, and then you'd think, right? Because unless the kid really knows how to act with just a green.
I mean, he's a good actor.
Well, you can also throw like a green block in the back and just CGI it later.
You could, but
yeah,
that takes a lot more work.
He's sleeping upstairs with Lyle, and who starts running? I think I have started running. Does the mom come upstairs here?
Yeah, because the mom goes and looks at his room to wake him up for school.
And he's not there. And he goes upstairs,
and
and how the shot is, it has Lyle's mouth like that, like his mouth, and then this is Josh. So he's like that. So obviously, if my kid is, well, first of all, it'd be weird to have a crocodile sleeping like he's slumped, and not like he's sleeping in the fetal position that you saw earlier and later on. But also, if his head was in someone's mouth, I would scream too. I don't know. That's just me, man. Would you scream if you saw a crocodile in your son?
I mean, if I see a crocodile next to my son, I'm like, first I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna think of Lyle Lyle Crocodile. I'm like, he's probably friendly. He can probably sing.
Yeah, and then he goes and he's like, he runs, and then eventually he gets to the front because he jumps down the stairs. They actually show multiple, like every time he goes on the stairs, is a different way he gets down there.
Yeah.
So he goes down. He's like, he's good. I promise. He knows how to sing.
And she's freaking out.
She's like, it's like, it don't matter if he knows how to sing. He's a crocodile. And he's like, Mom, just let him be here for like the day, right? Like till 6.
Till I get home.
Yeah, because they go out to the street, and he's like, just let him go and just get home.
Because she's about to call Dad.
Yeah.
And tell him.
Yeah, she does call Dad after
Yeah.
all, and she's like, I just hope you have a good day, right?
Yeah. Just spilling the beans.
And then it's just Mom and Lyle. And then Lyle is chill now and knows that the mom is there. He's in the shower, right?
Yeah.
And I like it too because like the shower, it shows it's a green tile in the back, so it's kind of like in his environment. And he comes in and he's just humming some song, and then what is it? The mom comes in and she's like freaking out again, like, what are you doing? And then he freaks out because obviously the dude's in the shower. So she goes down. Looks like she's about to call
she has the broom.
Yeah. She's about to hit him, and she's about to call it, and then he goes in the front, and then he starts cooking, and she's like still like
this was a cool scene.
Freaked out. Like it's cool because it's like he's like dancing around the thing, and he's singing "Tried and True." That's the one note I have here. He's definitely singing a different song here. It's not "Top of the World." But I think it's the first time we hear non-Top of the World here.
Yeah, it's not Top of the World.
He's dancing with the mom, and then or he's dancing around her at first, and then eventually he puts like whatever he's making in her mouth, and she ends up liking it. So it's probably something new that she hasn't seen from her cookbook.
Yeah.
And I think right here, do we see? I think we do see the cherries here, right?
Yeah.
Before he starts cooking, yeah, we see the cherries because he's trying to give her the cherries, and she don't understand at first, and also he don't understand at first that like, well, they're in the trash, I'm not gonna do them, but also, she's probably like, how does he know about? She probably not putting two and two together because she probably didn't see him snoop with the what's the word when he was watching. Obviously she didn't see him snoop, but she was working out, so it's kind of like I could see why she's confused. They still giving these cherries unless he saw that video, and how the hell did he see that video? You know?
Yeah.
But eventually I think she kind of gets like, oh, maybe Josh told him. That's probably what she's interpreting there. And then she's dancing with him, and then they start dancing around. And then the mom starts singing, like she has, like, you can, I feel like that actor. Actually, no, she was in Crazy Rich, maybe. But I know she was in Crazy Rich Asians, but maybe she has a good singing voice. Maybe, I feel like that one felt, what's the word? Because the dad don't sing at all, right?
No.
Yeah, I think her voice in particular seems like it wasn't her voice. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Because it didn't sound like, when it came out of her mouth, it sounded different. I feel like she was lip syncing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's really freaking talented. Because obviously Hector, he sung. Sean, he wasn't a crocodile, but Sean definitely sung. So when she sung, it was kind of weird. And then Josh comes home, and they have like.
Well, I want to go back to the cooking scene.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the lines in that was rip up the recipe. So he's like, like you said, try new things. But the song they chose, every song in this movie they chose for each one of these scenes was just spot on. So she's like, so when you rip up the recipe, try new things. I took it as, okay, the crocodile, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't always see talking crocodile, singing crocodile. So maybe it can be a pet. Try to get a different pet. Try to believe your son and that he has a friend in this crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of a, I'm giving it probably more thought than it should have, but
no, you're
I saw
right.
it like, try a new thing. This is different. The crocodile's different. The food's different. It was a
like if you, even though I'm different, I could still be
same.
good. I could still be good too.
I can still be good too. Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a crocodile, I can still be a pet.
Yeah.
I can still be a friend.
And then Josh comes home after probably an interesting day at school.
Yeah.
Then
he was probably excited. Dude.
And he probably like ran home just like, well, first of all, my mom's probably, it's been the last time I see Lyle Lyle. So he comes home and she throws like the dust, and it's like, it's kind of like LeBron's dust thing when he throws up all the chalk. And then you have the birthday cake. They have not birthday cake. Yeah, they have a birthday cake, and it has Lyle Lyle and the mom sitting on top. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then they start dancing, and then we have, it's actually Lyle, and then they go, and then he goes, then they go at the night, and they go trash diving with Lyle.
It was a repeat of the events.
Except it was with the mom, and the mom was a little freaked out, but when she got to it, she was cool. And then they're with Loretta as well again, and then Loretta. Oh, I have Loretta, but it's Loretta's owner. Yeah. Loretta owner gets cameras, which is
he bought the cameras. Yeah,
he bought cameras so he can show areas. And what I thought later on, I thought for sure he would be the one that ratted out Lyle, but it wasn't. But I was thinking he's gonna use.
I honestly don't know who actually ratted him.
No, I think it's I'll tell you later on. But Loretta's owner got the cameras, and I was thinking we're gonna see a cut of like the crocodile moving out to, capture him.
Yeah.
And the dad's concerned because the mom gets pizza in the morning, even though she usually makes food, and they're like, pizza in the morning? Yeah. It reminded me of school lunch, school breakfast. You ever eat school breakfast where they have like the pizzas?
Yeah. The sausage on it, right?
It was cool. Don't get me wrong, but it was weird it's weird to have pizza in the morning. And then the dad is concerned because he thinks that his wife is like, because his wife's super happy for some reason. So it reminds me of Andor, which is like a Star Wars series I've been watching with my brother. It kind of reminds me of like, is she cheating? Like, because I think that's what they're trying to say, and I think that's, you don't have to show that in a kid's movie. You could just be like,
it was implied. Yeah,
that's what they're showing.
They did a good job.
Yeah,
writing that.
He suspects cheating. She's like, is there someone? And he's like, there's someone else.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. Like,
sorta,
no,
kinda.
sorta, yeah, kinda. I gotta show you what I'm talking about. Then she goes up to Josh, and he's like, she's like, Josh, you got it. We gotta show him now. And they go. He comes through the bathroom, right?
Yeah. He comes out the bathroom.
Lyle comes out the bathroom, and he's like, I think brushing his teeth, and The dad runs away, and I put understandably. I would be
The same way the mom reacted.
yeah. Except this time, he didn't. What is it? He's in a wrestling stance because he saw the wrestling poster.
Yeah.
So he's in a wrestling stance when he goes to get him, and then when he's actually no, he goes to the wrestling stance once he gets in front of him, and then he still gets around him again, and then when he's about to open it, he opens the door, and Hector comes back in. Hector, the Magic Man, yes, and he's like, I returned, and he sees Lyle, and then Lyle jumps on him because he's happy.
Yeah.
And
after
then,
they made them cool, them little beats.
Oh yeah, they
start
start tapping the stuff, and then they start doing a little dance.
Different tones.
And Lyle's sad because at first he turns away, and then he starts doing it because. And I put when they're dancing, I was like, Harry Styles dance because that's the same dance that Harry Styles did when Frank made him promoted him. I was like, Lyle does it better. What is it? Shawn Mendes better than Harry Styles, confirmed. Easily right. And then we go and we're upstairs. There's the dad. I think the dad says like, is this where he does the line where he says, he can live here because of something in his clause that he can be there 15 days out of the year.
15, yes sir.
So I don't know where he got through, but at least he got 15 days in that house. But again, so what? So he's homeless the rest of the time, but he's like 15 days out of the week. Whatever he signed that manager, I guess he didn't give up his full house and his full apartment. It's not his anymore, but at least he can live in it every night. And then his vacation, he just goes to his old house. And then we see him getting drunk with Lyle Lyle because they both have a wine glass and they're both like pouring one.
They're partying, man.
Yeah.
They're getting deep.
Mm-hmm. And then it shows the dad like he can't sleep because the music is so loud. And then it shows Loretta's dad, and Loretta's like he has the little. Oh my God, Loretta has a little mask too. It's so cute. And Loretta's trying to sleep, but Loretta I think sleeping well. But Loretta's the owner. He's like, what is this? Like, what's this stomping? Because obviously he hasn't experienced this before because Lyle wasn't big back then. Yeah. So he's not making that much noise. And then I put Hang's dong. Who's hanging dong? Oh yeah.
He walks in.
Who walks in? Oh, the dad walks in on Hector.
Yeah.
And I put hanging dong. He's not hanging dong. Obviously, it's a PG movie. There's no hanging dong of the thing, but he's naked while he's doing it, and he's talking about expressing themselves because they're going out for the day, and the dad's like he has to calm down because he just. Like,
too much is a lot.
It is a lot. Crocodiles came to their life. He's also singing.
A guy's in your attic.
And a guy just came in your attic that happens to be the lineage owner.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're not going to come with us? We're going out for the day. And Lyle, they're like, I saw it too. I was like, oh, he's in Gator's thing. So I was thinking they're going to leave Lyle at the house and maybe they're going to have another scene. Like the dad's going to have a scene with Lyle right here. But
that's what I thought too.
That's legit what I was thinking because I was like, oh, that makes sense. Got to get them both on the same page. And then Lyle, they all have Florida Gators. They're all big Tim Tebow, Aaron Hernandez fans. They all come out in Florida Gators, and I like that because he's kind of like, what is it? Hector's kind of implied that he's old rich because you know how there's old rich and new rich in New York because there's old rich is the people that have been there forever, and new rich is the people like celebrities and stuff like
coming
that.
In,
coming in. So it's implied that I think that's what they're showing there. Like there's new rich with the mom in the cookbook, and then there's old rich with. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but he's wearing old clothes for a reason. Like he's wearing old Florida Gators, or maybe he's broke and that's the only thing he can afford. There's two ways you can interpret it. I think both ways serve the purpose. And he's like, and he's like, don't worry about it because basically Lyle's the mascot of the Florida Gators because he's wearing the Florida Gators merch, and then they go out for fun and they.
It shows them the little like montage of them doing.
And then they're drinking. He's drinking out of a ice cream thing and drinks the whole thing. And he's like another one. And then
while that song was playing,
Top of the World.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was that one. It wasn't their song. It was I don't know what song it was, but there was a line in there. It was like, "What comes up must come down." So I was thinking, okay, after this is when something bad's right about that. I thought immediately after.
but it was a guess, and I wrote it down, but it wasn't right.
Ah,
But I thought immediately after
It's-
this, something that was
you're-
just
you're
for that
like-
line.
You're like, this perfect movie is gonna be even more
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, I was like, man, I wrote this. Man, they're giving us hints.
And this is where you missed they are driving in a taxi because he has his head out, and then
Yeah.
that's when
That's what it
bulldog
was said.
the bulldog comes out, and then he goes and it's a Georgia Bulldog, so it's obviously their big rivalry,
Yeah.
and then he like barks at him, and then he roars at him, and then they put the window up because they're scared, and then Dad comes home and they're playing Twister and Monopoly at the same time.
Yeah.
Lyle Lyle's all bunched up, and I feel like they did that scene specifically so they can have Lyle Lyle twisted up because they're like, not can tell, but I'm pretty sure the people that made the movie are like, I want to see that scene. What's the word? I want to see what we can do with how much we can stretch a CGI, you know?
Yeah.
And it looks good for what it is. And then Lyle Lyle jump scares somebody, I guess. I don't know who jump scares, but
Well, it was the dad because he walked up behind the dad.
oh yeah, he
and
does.
had
Yeah,
his
yeah,
wrestling
yeah.
picture.
He this is where like the dad's going up, and then he scares him because he comes from behind, and then he breaks the glass on the. Cause he has the wrestling thing, and he breaks the glass on it. And he's like, "What the heck, man?"
Yeah.
And he's like, because we do see the dad talk about the wrestling thing. He gets brought up a few times, and it's shown that it's important. Like I said, because they show the frame, like that has to be a reason for it. And what is it? Lyle like gives him the thing, and he's like, "Get it on!" Like Lyle's ready to wrestle. So my brother would love this scene. What is it? So you got the dad in like this wrestling outfit with his wrestling helmet on, and he got Lyle going up. And Lyle, of course, even though he's like probably like 400 pounds, he's never wrestled before. So how does this go, Matt?
Yeah. So it was a lot of twisting and turning, a lot of
It was like a lot of catch
stomach-
wrestling.
a lot of stomach grabs and trying to suck the air out of
Then eventually he gets him into like a pinning position,
Yeah.
and he goes 1, 2, 3, and freaking Dad wins.
And Lyle let him.
Lyle, no, I don't think. I think.
No, you know why he did? Because he had that smile on his face. Like I wanted to be liked. That way I can stay here and there's no feud.
Nah, I think he was.
It was purposely. I bet you it was purposely. That smile. They closed up on that shot 3 different times in this movie. They brought it back 2 more times later in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a smile and it's a steady. It's like a 3-second just straight shot on that smile.
Mm-hmm.
So Lyle definitely let him win so that he could, because he was the last person in that apartment, in the house, in the building that wasn't 100% sold on Lyle.
Mm-hmm.
So once he won him over with that, he was like, okay, yeah,
Yeah. So
I have a family now.
okay, yeah, you could probably some truth to that, but I want to believe that the dad won. You're probably right, Matt, but I want to believe that the dad won because it makes me feel good that hey, he beat Lyle. At least you're probably right. Lyle probably let him win, but I like the idea that the dad won by being a goat, I guess. And then they're just downstairs, right? They're having fun.
It's the school scene where his dad walks into the school.
Oh yeah,
And in the
and he's
class,
all,
he got ignored the first time. So this time he has that whistle.
oh yeah, he controls the class and blows the whistle and like, hey, y'all
Yes,
chill.
sir, Mr. Biggins or whatever his name is.
Mhm.
Last
And
name.
then it shows the music show. I guess like he's talking to, or it says like the girl advanced, right? Or like they're on. Yeah, I think something like that. Maybe it's later. Either way, we go back to the. Oh yeah, no, we're
Yeah,
back to the house.
Because he's doing magic tricks.
Yeah, and we see the whole family, and Hector's like showing the magic tricks, and they're simple card tricks. They're getting a little too happy for these simple card tricks. When I get Lyle,
You have a friend as a crocodile.
well, there's
Like a
this
scene,
kid. There's
so-
this kid back in high school that used to like always do card tricks. And even Ryan, I'll give him a shout out. Ryan, he'll do a lot of card tricks, and that'd be pretty cool, I guess. But like back at school, there'd be a dude that would always do magic tricks, and eventually it got so boring. He like did them everywhere. Like if he ever watches this, he'll know exactly who he is. But also like he did them at school, right? And I'm like, oh my god, he did a trick. Like I had him in class, like, oh yeah, he did another magic trick. Cool. Like they're cool, don't get me wrong. But then like he would go every place you see him at. Like I saw him at the gym once. He was doing a magic trick to some guy, and like this guy was like, oh, so cool. Like you really carrying freaking magic cards to the gym? Come on now. But for me personally, I was like, oh yeah, magic tricks. Come on now. Like I get it. There's a reason you're bankrupt, double mortgaged. And then what happened? Oh yeah. Sorry, I laughed too hard at this. I looked at my notes and it said Matt with cheese dip. because Lyle is cooking a tortilla.
Yeah, you and the freaking
And it burned.
cup of ramen. Man.
Yeah, it burned. It burned up the tortilla, and it's like the flames go up, and he lets it down, and then Lyle Lyle comes in, and he starts doing what is it a dance, right? They do a dance routine.
Yeah.
Does Lyle Lyle sing here?
It was that same song from the beginning.
Oh,
yes.
it's Top of the World.
Yeah, Top of the World.
Yeah, but this time it says "Take a look at us now."
Yeah,
because
Take a
they're
Look at Us Now.
they're
Because
because they show different parts of the song before they sing. I think at one like at the end is where he sings the whole song.
Yeah.
It's kind of like GVM where they show bits of it and then eventually they sing the whole one.
Yeah.
So they show parts of the song that mean something, and then at the end they show the full song. So what is it?
Because I wrote a song about a second chance. They basically got a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a confidence booster because now they're
Yeah.
back together.
And also one
He
shot.
sang in front of the crowd.
And again, I feel like this was maybe you don't think this, but I feel like they really like horror. Maybe I'm just getting too into it because they also do like a closing door. Where I tell you like they noticed that the doors closed because for some reason both two doors closed in the little hallway area. It reminded me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre again because Texas Chainsaw Massacre again closing doors. Maybe that one was probably a stretch, but again it could be not. I just felt like putting it out there just in case. And he talks about the performance like, hey, he needs to go perform in New York and we can do this, you know. And then he's like, does Hector do another show here?
Well, no, Hector, yeah, because right when Hector goes, he's like, Hector's about the money.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid's like, well, I think he wants a family.
Yeah, he wants a family.
So they're kind of debating. So yeah, they end up driving off to that show.
Yeah, they do another show, and it's just a regular show this time, right?
Yeah, it's just a regular show.
And I think this is where he says he does the double mortgage this time. Like, oh yeah, like he's putting out more money. He's shelling out even more money than he has. He's just
Recovering losses.
yeah. No, he said like he had like 7 loans or something like that. Something insane. But he's up there again. I think they're having red suits this time instead of the blue suits. They went a little more snazzy this time. And they're trying to do it again. And then Lyle freezes up. Lyle's like frozen. He's like, he can't do it again.
Stage fright.
Yeah. And then it doesn't work out. I think the perfect pair. And then we go back and he comes back and he's like they're all down like how'd it go? The parents show up there. It was just
No, it was just Magic Man and Josh.
yeah. It was Batman and Josh saw it and he was disappointed as well.
Yeah, because Josh was like, even though I think you're awesome, even if you can't sing.
Yeah. But
Magic Man's all
but
like,
I got like 7 loans, dude. Can you at least give me something? Then we have the perfect pair, 2 lands, and then we see Hector come out of I saw it too, right? And I was like, that's a nice car, man.
Yeah, me too.
And
Close up.
And then it's like a really nice car, and then Hector gets kicked out of it, and they're like, your money, and then we're in
the neighborhood meeting.
Yeah, we're in the neighborhood meeting because Loretta's owner is calling a meeting because he keeps hearing these big noises, like y'all can hear it, and then right on cue a little thump happens, you know.
Yeah.
And then Hector comes in. He's like, oh yeah, because the dad came in. And Hector comes in afterwards, and Hector's like, because just the dad at the meeting. No, the mom's there too. The dad just came in, and then the mom's there as well. But they don't have no speaking lines, or at least the dad does. But then and then Hector comes in. Hector's like, hey, like, and he's like, you're here, like so obviously they have some history. Loretta's owner and Hector, and what is it? He goes, he just says like he knows him, and then he talks about the cameras, right?
Yeah, he brings up the cameras, uses his blackmail basically. He's like, well, what about we talk about all these cameras? Did they get permission? Did you get permission from all these people to have cameras on their freaking doors, invading their privacy?
Yeah, invading the privacy. Did you ask them? And I think this is where we see the director, at least one of the directors. I think we see him somewhere in this meeting scene, because I guess they want to get a cameo in. Yeah. I could be wrong, but it looked like the same one of those people were directors. But I saw the director after I saw the movie, so I wasn't paying attention to look for director, you know. But either way, he gets them out, and he's like, call the meeting off, and they leave. And then as soon as the meeting comes out, right, that's when the wildlife people show up.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Hector was there, because at least what it said later on, Matt, you can see him on the bus with all this money. I'm like, where'd he get this money from? I guess maybe the showrunner, he said, or somebody, or maybe it was Loretta's owner that paid him off. But either way, Hector got a bunch of money, and I think the money scene is showing Hector is because Hector's character is that he wants to make money, but he doesn't know how to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what his character is. He's not a bad guy, but he's not a good guy either. He just needs money. He wants to get money to have fun. He also wants to have fun on these shows, but he also needs to be profitable so he can still live in a house.
Continue to do it.
Yeah, continue to do it. He has a bad way of going about it, but not a bad way, just not a good way. It's weird to say, but he's not a bad guy, but he's not a good guy. But he goes and so later on we see the bus scene. So I think that's what's showing. At least when I first saw it, I was like, oh, Loretta got him, but Loretta's owner got him. But then when I saw it afterwards, like, oh, Hector was the one that did that, and that's why they have that's why you have to say sorry later on, Matt. So Loretta gets never for Loretta. Lyle Lyle gets captured, and then Josh is like, you got to sing so they know you're not like wild.
Yeah, you're not gonna hurt nobody. And he got stage fright. He's still scared. So they shot him with that little
darts. Yeah, he got darts.
The little dart that puts you to sleep.
Yeah, he's about to try to sing here, and then just gets slept.
Yeah.
I even have here F Loretta because I thought it was Loretta, but it wasn't. Loretta's dad, obviously, not Loretta. Loretta's cute. And then Lyle gets sent off to the zoo, and then luckily they didn't kill him because they could have, and then because all they had was dart guns, and so we see
a lot of sad.
Yeah, Lyle's sad, and then we see the next day. I was like, they had their own little exhibit area, and we see Josh there, right? Josh in the he's at the gate.
Yeah.
And what is it? The parents. I want you to lead on, but the parents are talking, and he's like, "Lyle, we'll get you out of here." And then the parents, being real as you can be, saying, "We can see him every day, but we can't have him here. The laws say we can't."
Yeah.
Because they even say later on, like when the I forgot, it's like actually a big chase scene when they're capturing Lyle. The mom even says, "Hide him, like hide," and then they eventually end up finding Lyle. Like Lyle starts moving around, and then he gets out of the house. It's a really nice scene. Yeah, the mom and the dad are like, we even though like we want Lyle to be there, but we can't because even though he's singing, he's still a crocodile, and then she says this line, which I think is like the best. I think my favorite line in the movie. Do you remember the line, Matt?
Yeah, not all problems have a solution.
Yeah, I think I saw you write it too, and I wrote the same thing. I was like, that's the truth. Not all problems have a solution. Sometimes you can't solve everything. That's part of life. And then we have.
I like the next line that the boy says too. He goes, "I was only so scared because y'all were so scared."
Mm-hmm.
So they're like putting pressure on him. Like when everyone you look at scared, you're gonna be scared too. If you see everybody darting and running away, you'll be scared too. So he acted out of nervousness. It's like they were nervous for him to go walk to school. That's why she was always with him.
Mm-hmm.
So like when she went away, it's gonna come back later when she's waiting for him again because now she's scared again. Because he just fainted right here.
Yeah, Josh.
Anxiety attack.
Josh faints, and she's like, "Don't worry." At least that's what I put. And then we see what do I have here? Drizzy, you want to go ahead and lead this one, Matt?
Yeah, Lyle starts singing about because he's in that dark.
Oh yeah, he says, "Don't." I think that's what I have here. Like he's singing a song like something down. Don't worry, something along those lines. Oh yeah, and this is where we see why he's singing. This is where we cut to Hector. And that's where he's at the bus with the money, because he's leaving again, and then we have we get back, and then we get he's just singing the whole song.
Yeah,
it's like this really nice it's obviously it's like if you're like in the Broadway, it's like their solo scene where they're just talking to themselves. Like Lyle is here, and you see him sleeping, right? And with all these crocodiles.
But the good days, right? Because it was like a montage. That's the cool montage. That's when it went back to when he first met each parent and won them over. Then all the good times he had with the Magic Man.
Yeah.
Because it showed a Magic Man thing where they're dancing. And then it showed where he won the kid
I feel
over.
Like the flashback wasn't really needed. I'd rather
liked it.
I liked it, don't get me wrong. But I'd rather have seen more of just him walking around and like interacting with the alligators. I get why they did it because it does have meaning, and that's what he's saying. Like
then it was showing current sadness as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way there was like 12 shots back and forth, and it was so cool the way it landed up.
It just reminded me too much of Naruto, where they have a flashback every episode. So that's why it kind of gave me a little flashback. And he's singing right, and then
the lines in that song was we thought the feelings would last forever, and the stars were on our side. So it's like we thought everything was going to be perfect. We just won everybody. He just won everybody over in the house. He was starting to sing in front of the crowd. And then all of a sudden, wildlife came and took him away.
Yeah, and then also, what do we have? Yeah, because even Hector said earlier, like, we have a crowd before everything blew up. Like, this is a crowd. And then, what is it? There's a shot, and it's like he's looking at the water, and the moon's pointing up. So it's like a nice water moon shot. Like, it's a very pretty movie. Like I said, like, newer movies are always pretty, but this one's really pretty. It's obviously, it kind of... I've never seen the new West Side Story, the one by Steven Spielberg that recently came out. I feel like that's very like shot the same way because they're both like Broadway musical types. Because obviously that's what they're going for. I don't think there's actually like I said earlier, there's not actually a Lyle Lyle Broadway show, but I can easily see it because it was shown here, you know. And obviously there's King Kong, for God's sake. There could be anything. And then we go to the school, and Josh is all sad, and the mom is, the mom's in a sad. No, we just see Josh. He's at the school.
Yeah, it's just Josh right now.
Yeah, it's just Josh right now, and he's talking to the girl because he's just sitting there, and then the girl she says, you know, miracles happen.
Yeah, miracles do happen.
She's talking about something else, but miracles happen is the main.
I wrote that line down as well. Miracles still happen.
And then when he gets home, you see what I have here is like the color changes because all the colors that they have were like bright colors. Besides the dad, of course. But like the mom was always wearing bright, vibrant like spring colors, and then right here in this shot, she's just wearing dark gray colors to show like sadness.
Yeah.
I always like to talk about the costumes because they're very important. And then we see, and they're eating sad caviar because they have the pizza, and they also have what is it? They have the caviar in the background. They're eating it, and they're all sad. Like, where's Lyle Lyle at? And then we see, what is it? He gets out, and he's wearing a green shirt with brown pants. Josh is because alligator colors, obviously. So obviously there was something to that, and this when Hector does. This is when Hector and Hector and Josh are carried. Yeah, Josh like, let me take the trash out, and then this when Hector and Josh see each other, and Hector's like, yeah, I got Lyle captured. She's like, and then Josh like, you only want him for the money. I wanted him just to be my thing, and he's like, yeah, I know I made a mistake. Nobody's perfect, but basically like he's like saying I'm sorry. But I needed to because, you know, I had all these loans. I had to give some money somehow. So he must go a lump sum. It was probably like the deal that Colonel Tom signed where he gets no debt. But he was like, I'll be waiting you at 4 a.m.
Yeah, because he's like, magic happens. Because he's like, we can get Lyle back. Magic happens. Mm-hmm. And then the kid takes that coin and goes, there is no magic.
Oh, for real? Damn. Yeah.
There's a deep message right there.
Yeah.
And then, there is no magic.
And then he lays down, and you can see the cuts between both the shots. You see Josh, you see Josh sitting there, and it's 4 o'clock, and I was thinking for sure he'd be there at 4. And he's looking at his timer, and Josh it's 4:05, and he's like, well, I gotta go now. Josh no-showed. And then Hector's at the zoo, and Hector goes, and he's like, he goes to the security officer because the security officer comes out. And he's like, oh, I got myself trapped in the handcuffs. And he's like, can you help me out? And he looks like a magician. Come on, boy. He looks like he's about to rob this place. Whatever. I guess zoos. I guess no one's really robbing zoos.
Yeah. I'm not sure why they have security, honestly.
Oh, no, I get why they have security because you can't let the animals out. You ever seen Zookeeper?
No.
Or Zookeeper 1?
No.
Or Zookeeper 2?
No.
Or Night of the Living Museum?
No.
Or Night of the Living 1?
No.
Or 2?
No.
Or 3?
No.
Or 4?
No.
5?
No.
There's only 3. I think.
No.
But he gets the officer trapped, and he goes to Lyle. But he puts the string down to try to get Lyle out. And he ends up falling somehow.
His magic little thing you pull
out your sleeve. He pulls down. He's like, Lyle, you got to come up. And the thing pulls down. And then all the alligators, because they look realistic. The alligators, you can tell the difference between the two. Because one has evil eyes, one doesn't. And he's like, what's the word? Lyle is... He's telling Lyle, like, hey, get me out of here because all these crocodiles come to him. And he's like, Josh comes up, right? He's like, that's your plan?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I can get you out of here. And Lyle's just sitting there in the corner because he doesn't even notice him at first because he's trying to figure out where he's at. He's like, you got to help me. And what does Josh say?
Josh says, you have to tell him. Because Magic Man's like, Josh, tell him to help me. And then Josh is like, you have to.
Yeah, you got to tell him. He's not. It's because of you that he's here. Like, you got to tell him you're sorry. He ain't gonna help you if you're not gonna help him. And then he ends up doing that. And then he freaking an alligator fight, which is so cool. I like to see whoever like Sony make like an alligator movie, and I'll go watch it because like he freaking like tail whips him kind of. He kind of does a tail whip. That's kind of what I got from it. It was like a tail whip, man, or it's like a
it was like a tail whip, like a tail grab, like a.
Oh yeah.
He used the tail and grabbed and then flung.
Yeah, and then he gets out, and then now it's like Dawn because it showed Dawn at first.
Because he's like because Magic Man, he was like, yeah, we can do this big tour. And then he looked at Josh and was like, but once we get you out, we can take you back to Josh and your family. So then he was like, that's what he really wanted.
Yeah, it's weird because he actually wants to go on tour, and like the other Carney who doesn't want to go on tour at all, or he wants to go on tour but not like big tour. And then so they head out finally, and then all the zoo people arrive because
they're surrounded.
Yeah, they're surrounded. He's like, I'll get you out of here. And this scene's kind of like you got to suspend your disbelief sometimes because he ends up throwing he's like, I'll get you out of here. He throws a smoke bomb
because he sees that bus drive by and it has that show on it. It has the show 'em what you got.
Yeah, and
there he's like, you need to take him there so everybody can see what
Lyle
he's not harmless.
And he's like, I'll be a distraction. I'll be a distraction.
I'll use my magic and be a distraction.
Yeah. So he throws the thingy down, and then everybody goes, and then he gets locked up. And they go to the motorcycle, which you saw earlier with Lyle Lyle and him in it, with Hector in it. But now Lyle Lyle, I thought Lyle Lyle was gonna be the one to drive, and I like that a little bit better. But they had Lyle Lyle in the passenger seat, and they had Josh drive.
That cart, the little strength cart.
Yeah, the little strength. Yeah, the cart, and then and when he's what is the word? They start driving, and he's like, how do we even get over there? Or like, do you even know how to do it? And they end up driving to the area, and Lyle Lyle's like on this phone with like, and it shows like filters, right? One's like
Talking Tom.
Yeah, Talking Tom, and then one's like a horse filter. The horse filter like puts your face down, and then he finally gets the location, and so they head there, and they head to the area, right? They're driving through, and then they get to the popcorn, right? He runs into the popcorn, and then the mom's like, where's he at? He didn't come home.
Like, where are they at? And he's
and then they go to like the Life 360. Yeah, that's definitely what they're portraying, and they go to
he's at Times Square.
Yeah, he's at Times Square. What is he doing at Times Square? And then he's the friend lets him in, right, to the show. Yeah, he goes to the back area.
Yeah, they go down to the backstage, and his friend, the one that didn't like him at first, then liked him a little more,
Yeah.
Throughout the show, progressively liked him. She goes and like he just flings the door all the way up and is like, look, here's that crocodile.
Yeah, like, come on, can you let me? She's like, she's not as freaked because she knows about it already. And when she goes in, everybody else is like freaked out, but they like let him on anyways. And all the cops come out, right, with their guns, and they're about to because it's actual cops this time because the police calls, right, while they're driving. He's like, there's a crocodile on the speedway, right? The speedway, the highway. And then the dude's like, a what? He's like, a crocodile on a bike. And then so they go to the show, and he's like, wow, you gotta sing, because everybody's like freaked out. And Lyle Lyle sits there again, all like stage fright.
He was scared. Yeah.
And then Josh goes and he starts singing, and Josh is horrendous. He's like me.
Bad. I think that was purposely done so that because they started laughing at him. You hear a little laughs in the crowd. So like, I think it was to make. And then the girl looks at her friend, and she's like, "What are you doing? Like, you can't be doing that." Because they were the ones originally on the show. That's why they were able to. Because it was like Tasha. I think Tasha. It was something with a T. Tasha and her group was the name. So they ended up just having the other people, or I guess that's the sub whatever. So because it was like the finale, and then Josh sings, and he's like, I think he sings obviously it's the song "Freak." I lost the name of it. What's the song name? The chorus. You don't remember the chorus? On Top of the World.
Yes, that one. On Top of the World. That one. Yeah, On Top of the World is where he's starting to sing a part of it, and then eventually, man, it's crazy how I could say it throughout the whole thing, and then once at the end, I'm just like, what's the words? He's singing it, and then eventually, right as again the cops are about to like freaking pull the trigger, and then Lyle Lyle starts singing On Top of the World. He finally
starts singing.
Yeah, he finally starts singing, and then he does like this big dance routine, and everybody's like, at first they're like a little confused, and then they get all excited, and the cops put their guns down. The animal life puts their guns down. And then it shows that the security guard's watching. It does a cut, and it shows the security guard watching the thingy back at the zoo. And then Hector sees it, and he's like, "Oh, look, there's Lyle." He's just proud to see his guy finally singing in front of a crowd. And then it shows the parents. They finally come in. And the parents, I don't even know how the hell they got tickets. The parents come in. They're all what's the word? They're all excited because he's singing. And then he gets Josh to sing. And in this part, that's what I'm going to get. Because Josh sings, and I feel like he actually sings right here. Like, he actually sings good here.
That's what I was saying, because he did it on purpose. Because he knew...
Oh, you're saying Josh did it on purpose?
Did it on purpose, yes.
Oh, like to sing bad.
Yeah,
I think you meant the directors.
No. Josh did it on purpose. Because you know how at the beginning of the movie, when Josh was in trouble, he saved him. So now here, he's getting laughed at again. He's getting basically bullied again.
Oh, so you're saying Josh was smart enough to fake
scenes because he knew Lyle would come out there and help him. So
that
he doesn't embarrass himself.
That would be a good reason for the... I feel like you might be thinking a little bit too much in it, but we think about... If we're not thinking about too much into the movie, then what are we doing here, you know?
Because you know what this movie reminded me of? Status Update. It happened, that same plot happened in Status Update. That's why I brought it here. Like, oh, yeah, that's kind of true.
Sorry. Yeah. You're. I feel like you could be right there. And again, if we're not deep diving into these movies, what are we doing? Even if it's Lyle Lyle Crocodile. But they did, and then so they start singing the chorus, and then they both do it together, and then he finishes the song, and everybody's cheering, and all the judges are good, and then
1 month later,
we're at a trial, right? We're at a judge trial at the court.
Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard.
Yeah, definitely. Lyle is there, and they're like, well, he is right because it's Loretta's parent, and then remember Loretta's parent is the dude, and then Loretta's the cat, and so they're there in trial, and he's like, well, you know, we do. Just because he can sing, he's like, just because he's singing, you can't do it, and there's like, yeah, we're gonna have to put him back in the zoo, and then Hector comes in again, and Hector's like, he has like this file because he has a family lineage, right? He has he comes with a freaking a deed, right? A deed from the original deed, and
he gives brought it to him.
He gives it. Oh yeah. He's like, how do you get that? That was behind my bed, and Loretta, yeah, shows the cat, and Loretta. That's why they had to do CGI cat, I guess. Loretta's the one that gave Hector the letter. Hector comes in and he gives the letter, and then in the deed it says that his grandma, right? Grandma or great grandma?
Yeah.
Was the
great-grandma.
Was the owner of the zoo, right?
The zoo and the apartment.
Yeah, but the zoo and the apartment, and so she said in the thing that she can have any exotic animals for this deed. So I guess the deed rules over actual rules in New York. Yeah, but
makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh, good. I guess the house owner can have what they want, right? Yeah. So what is it? We have they're all happy because they get the rule, and Loretta comes, and then Loretta, he approves it because he's like, what? It's still not. That's crazy. It's still a crocodile. But Loretta.
And then the cat ran to Josh.
She's like, Loretta. Yeah. He's all sad about it, and then we get, and then it show, and then
the dad starts wrestling Mr. Grump.
Oh yeah, he wrestles him. Yeah, he wrestles him again, and the dad beats him obviously, and then we head to the house, right?
Yeah, and he's like, we're going on tour. He goes, Lyle wants a vacation.
Yeah, he's like, the world tour. And then Lyle's like, we're going on vacation. What are you talking about? He's like, you ever been on vacation? Yeah. I don't know if he's talking to Hector or Lyle.
He's talking to both, I think.
I think that's what's interpreted here. So Hector is like, okay, I guess, we'll do a stadium show, world tour, opposite of what Tom did. And then, so they're just driving off, and
that girl brings the snake.
Yeah, the girl. Oh yeah, the girl brings a snake, and it's like a beatboxing snake. Yeah. And he's like, and he gives her the business card. So I guess that's like not a deal. Yeah, that's his new deal. Like, he can be okay with Lyle leaving right now. And then I don't know if he can talk though. So I think talking crocodile is cooler than beatboxing snake. But then we're in the car, and then we see Loretta pop up from the back. I guess she left. Because also, I thought for sure we were going to see a cut of Loretta's owner at one point being like, where's Loretta at? He doesn't do that throughout the whole movie. I thought at least we were going to see that once. It's okay that we didn't. I just thought for sure we were going to see that. Like, in my mind, I was like, we're definitely going to see that, And then, so they're in the car, and they play a song by Elton John, right? It's like Crocodile or something
Rock.
Crocodile Rock. And then he's like, let's put his playlist on. It was like hearing Matt's playlist. Like, I guess.
It's good, man.
And then we hear Crocodile Rock. and they start singing it, and it cuts like to the city, and then they have I think that's where actually a famous singer died. Actually, the shot that they show, I forget who it is. They definitely talk about it on my tour in New York, and
Your
tour like when I went to a tour, well, like when I saw New York, that's what it was there, and that's how it closes. And it was we'll do that's how it ends. It's definitely a fun family movie.
Real
Any family
good
should see
movie.
it. Who's the best actor in this movie?
Probably the kid.
I think Hector.
I think the kid.
I think
The
Hector
kid
has the most.
nailed it,
I
man.
think Hector had the most character development.
So did the kid, man.
Yeah,
they both did good.
Lyle, he just sings.
Yeah,
He just sings. Actually, his mannerisms are really good, but we can't give Shawn Mendes his mannerisms.
Yeah.
We'll give it to the animators. There's no way in hell they CGI. There's no way I could see Shawn Mendes in a suit like dancing.
Yeah.
I'm not dancing. Well, he does dance, but like that would be crazy if there was like a behind the scenes shot. No, I saw he was just him singing in the studio, but it'd be really cool if it was like he was actually the alligator dancing. Yeah, that's what would you say your favorite scene was?
My favorite scene, probably the one with the flashback where they're singing about how stuff was right.
I think my favorite
And
was
it
the
wasn't.
horror scene.
Nah, my favorite scene was different. When
No, that was my favorite
when
scene.
they thought it was gonna be good, everything was going light, and then the singing.
I think my favorite scene was either. God, I can't even think of one. There's a lot of good scenes in it. Probably the wrestling scene was pretty fun for me. Like them
The
wrestling.
mom scene was good too.
Yeah, both of them were really
The
good. Either way, it was Broadway to me. So when I saw any Broadway musical movie, I love. I can watch any of them. So yeah, then and the final rating,
Mine 100, dude. I gotta
100?
give it 100.
it's 100. Okay, well, Matt's it's the first
Dude,
100. That's the
first
first
100.
100 on the
Yeah,
pod.
it's gonna be the only 100.
For me personally, if I had to put a rating, I would give it a solid 80. It's a really good 80. It's a strong 80. Again, don't take the ratings too
You
seriously.
just give Black Phone like a freaking 89.
86 actually.
86. You're saying Black Phone is better than this?
Yes, Matt.
No
it's,
way.
It's okay. It don't
No way.
matter. The ratings don't matter.
They do.
If they matter, then they shouldn't. If they matter, then they shouldn't. Okay, but that's our final ratings. That's you're not gonna change it anyways. Actually, we'll give it an 81, Matt, for Kobe. So you can find us on YouTube and TikTok on the Dmpod, on Twitter and Instagram at the Dmpod_. The D always falls off, doesn't it? It's all right. And then you can find Matt at the Peters Won't Stop podcast on all platforms such as Spotify and Apple. We'll just say Spotify and Apple for now. Same thing on the Dmpod. He might have another episode out soon. We'll figure it out. It's kind of been in
the works.
in hibernation.
In hibernation.
Hopefully, maybe not this month, but maybe next month. Next month for sure. I'm gonna try to have out one of my series. Try to get that out so we can actually have more content on this channel. And yeah, I'll try to put it out as soon as I could. I don't know what will be next. Probably a horror movie. Yeah, it'll probably be Black. Wait, no, not Black Phone. It'll probably be GVM.
GVM.
Yeah, we'll see.
2 little kid movies in
Either-
the same week.
Either GVM or Halloween. Don't know yet. Either way, goodbye. Be safe.